Hey guys, this is the Sports Hub. I'm Connor O'Gara. We've got a loaded show to get to today. We have updates for the FKC tournaments and, well, kind of, but not really an update for the LPC tournament that hasn't really got off the ground yet. We have a matchup between the Ainsworth and Southern Valley boys, big headliner game down in Oxford this week, and then we want to get to in our Sports Hub call of the week. But before we talk any of that, we talk 3 stars in this program. And the first star that we're going to look at, Caleb Eckel of Pleasanton, hits a game-winning 3 to stun Axtell in the quarterfinals of the FKC tournament. Just about as big a shot as you can possibly hit in a moment that he's probably not going to forget for a very long time. I know Kelly Cooksley was on hand for that one and said just absolutely could not believe what he just saw. Another person, or team rather, that was actually in attendance for that one, that was Amherst. Amherst, that happened on their home floor because they were hosting that quarterfinal round. They get to take on a Pleasanton team right now that is riding high. I don't think Amherst is going to be underestimating Eckel and the Bulldogs anytime soon, especially for that game. They definitely want to be able to get to that FKC championship. Second star, Nick Crowley, speaking of FKC, had a 30-point game in a victory against Overton last weekend. And this came after he actually, I think they said he nearly broke his nose coming down from a dunk in the first quarter of that one. Crowley, obviously a kid that is never rattled by anything, still has a big game and an overtime win against a rival. And I know Elm Creek right now, kind of riding high a little bit. Got off to a little bit of a slow start, but Crowley appears to be healthy, maybe with the exception of the nose, and that team is healthy, and they're going to be a dangerous team in the FKC. And then our final star, Josie Madsen of Minden. She had 18 points in a Southwest Conference title victory against Ainsworth, and they needed her to step up in that one. And you look at 18 points, you say, all right, well, what's so spectacular about 18 points? It was the way that she did it. They put a triangle and 2 on Taylor Kissinger, and basically, limited her after she got off to an incredible start to that game. And Madsen was exactly the scorer that Rick Hermosa needed, able to get a victory in the title game, get a conference title. And Minden, this is a team that's bounced back really nicely after that tough loss to Hastings St. Cecilia, and it's just going to be a team rolling into the playoffs right now. Definitely going to have one of those top spots in the state come postseason time. In the Fort Kearny Conference, those semifinal games will kick off on Friday night at the Bureau Event Center. Going to have a couple of good ones. And my one big question for the boys tournament is, can Elm Creek recapture that magic? This is a team that's coming off of a conference title last year. Talked about it before in 3 stars with Nick Crowley, but a team that maybe has its legs finally under them after that long football season. Crowley surging for this team right now. LaShawn Thornabar providing big minutes for that team. And this is going to be a dangerous matchup, I think, for Wilcox-Hildreth. Wilcox-Hildreth beat Elm Creek by 2 last time, but all bets are off when you're playing against a team in a new gym. You have to deal with those new rims, and the shooting depth is a little bit different than a typical high school gym playing at the Bureau Event Center. So I just think Elm Creek very comfortable, definitely on that playing surface. Could be really interesting to see if they're able to emerge from that semifinal showdown, and who knows, maybe they're able to recapture that magic and have another FKC title in their belt. My one big question for the FKC girls tournament is, has Amherst figured it out? Is Amherst a team right now, winners of 10 straight, a team that could potentially upset Axtell in that semifinal and then make their way to a championship? I don't know. This is a team that you looked at maybe a few weeks ago at 2-7, and you're thinking, all right, they have better options in this. What exactly isn't working for them? But right now, doing it on both sides of the ball, had a 29-point defensive effort in that first round game against Eustis Farnham. And you talk about the offensive options that they have between Taubenheim and Martinson and Juergens. And this could just be a team right now that has figured it out. And when you get to this point in the season, that is so dangerous. Even if they lose that semifinal game against Axtell, I just think that Amherst is a very dangerous team come postseason time, and definitely a squad that probably not too many teams are going to want to see. My one big question for the LPC tournament, and this is a boys and a girls question, is how will delays affect the remainder of this tournament? We had delays on Monday and Wednesday because of the snow. Teams weren't able to play that normal schedule like they're used to during conference tournament week. And that also means it's been an up and down week for practices. I know coaches have had a really tough time being able to schedule around the snow and all that's been going on. And you're looking at a situation where you're going to have to play 3 games in 3 days in the quarterfinal, semifinal, and championship rounds if you want to win this tournament. I think right now for both the girls and the boys, This tournament is going to favor the deeper teams, the teams that are more well-conditioned at this point of the season. If you're playing 5-6 guys, they better be ready to go to be able to play a lot of basketball over the course of the next couple days. Otherwise, this is going to be, a tournament that you could be looking back on saying, I wish we had done this, I wish we had done that, we ran out of gas. And right now, this could just be the team with the most left in the tank at the very end, could be the one that ends up on top. For our Sports Hub call of the week, we're going to go to a game that might be about as good as it gets in the regular season. And that's between Class C1 number 1 Ainsworth, undefeated right now, and Southern Valley, a team right now that is just surging, feeling very confident. And on the line in this game is Southern Valley's 27-game home winning streak. They haven't lost at home in 3 years. Southern Valley been to state 2 straight years, haven't had a home loss during that stretch. And this is an Ainsworth team that comes in just rolling offensively. Scored 93 points in that Southwest Conference Championship against Gothenburg, a double overtime game. They just flat out score. And I know that John Miller is going to want to slow that team down, get them into more of a full court game. They want to be able to press them, and they want to be able to rely on the steals the same way that they're able to, against the rest of C2 and their opponents that they face. And we talked about it before with Hunter Quinn, Jeremiah Perkins, Seth Miller, guys that have been there before, guys that have that swagger on that home floor. That can be so important in a game like this. I think it really does come down to a possession here, a possession there, but I do think that Ainsworth is able to pull away with a 68-65 victory. Want to remind you all, in case you haven't seen any of it yet, make sure you're checking out all of our signing day coverage. That's kearnyhub.com/sports. A lot of good things to talk about in the area. A lot of kids making those big time decisions. Definitely want to make sure you check that out. Make sure you're also checking out our conference tournament coverage. I know maybe it had been lacking a little bit in the early part of the week because of the snow and because of all the delays that have been going on, but that is sure to pick up steam over the weekend, and we're going to be providing all of that as always. So for the Sports Hub, this has been Connor O'Gara. Thanks guys, we'll see you next week.